all of these men who've been funded by AIG, JP Morgan, and they think this is also cute because they can be in bed with them. That's not going to occur unless the American public insists. Let's hold them accountable.
No, I agree. We need to start beating the drums. I mean, even Rolling Stone said, Senate committee proves it's criminal, send them to prison. It's time for hundreds of these prominent bankers and some of these members of Congress to be clapped in irons, taken in, given a jury trial, and sent to prison. And I'm not talking about country clubs. And that will teach these criminals. Folks, if you don't keep corruption under control, you will fall apart like North Korea or Mexico. And they're trying to win and set the precedent that they can get away with this and use a police state against us. It is us or them. Send them to prison. Bill, thank you so much. Rand.
Let me say something. Nothing is more humiliating to Wall Street than to see Blank Fine or the heads of AIG and other people in Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, literally arrested during the daytime by the FBI. They know how to do it, and trounced right out there in handcuffs, sent to prison. And let me tell you, that is an effective deterrent to everybody, including if you go into the Senate, you go into Congress, and you look at Barney Franks and Christopher Dodd and Max Baucus, and you look at all the ones in the Financial Senate Committee, both on the Republican, Democrat, put handcuffs on them, send them right through the daytime, and show them on TV. And believe me, this will shut down this collusion. It works very effectively. Yeah. It's a counter-psyops, but it works.
Rand in New York, you're on the air with Dr. Pieczenik.
You know, the American public has been dumbed down. I mean, we're dumber than a bag of concrete at this point. They've got an efficient propaganda arm called mass media. I mean, it's like, right, I mean, Bin Laden's been dumped in the ocean. What next? He washes up on Gilligan's Island? You know, I mean, it's like, you know, what are we going to be believing next? How are we going to fight this, you know, when they've got everybody so dumbed down and such, you know, I mean, the propaganda that they've got is just
Rand,
so
let me
massive.
say something, though, and I want you to continue, but look, I mean, let's get real here. There's a process of awakening. People that want to be dumb are spectators. They're not on the field. We've got 100 to 1 people on the field against these folks. And so, yes, there are some dumbed-down people, but there's a big awakening happening. Congress has a 9% approval rating. Mainstream media has about a 12. And so everybody isn't buying it. It's just that we don't know we're the majority because we still buy that final psyop that we're alone because we're not arrogant, and that actually plays against us because we are so humble. The truth is, let me tell you something I told you yesterday. Okay, just as a bellwether, I am known. My face is known from YouTube, the internet, radio show, newspapers and stuff, okay? 5 years ago, I'd get off a plane in New York, walk down the street for 30 minutes, 5 people come over to me. Now I get off a plane in New York and walk, I can't go 10 feet. I can't eat in restaurants. I can go to L.A., Austin, anywhere. I can walk in a bar to pick up food to take home. Almost everyone leaves the pool tables, whatever, comes over to me. And I'm not going, ooh, look, Alex Jones is well known. The point is that you have no idea how powerful the liberty movement is. Don't underestimate. Dr. Pieczenik, any comments?
I totally agree with Alex Jones. I've always been a great supporter of his. I don't care what my title is, conspiracist, truist, it doesn't really matter. But I want you to understand, and I want all of your listeners to understand, the American Revolution was not started by a majority of the people in the United States. It was started by a few. I don't have to go over the narrative.
3%.
The Alex Jones have been remaining in there, and the Thomas Jeffersons, the Madisons, the John Adams. This is just a continuation of what our founding fathers said. No matter what the mainstream media is, no, the American public is not dumbed down. They are tired. There's a lot of information. They're overwhelmed, and they will say it. But there are no, you know, we are not dumb rummies. The American public is not a dumb rummy. Every politician is going to learn that at the expense of his or her career and possibly life. But the point of fact is you have a lot of people in the government, in both the civilian and military government, who agree with what Alex Jones is saying and what he's doing. And so do I. I'm not coming out of the closet. I've always been somebody who's told people exactly what they think. I've thrown the President of the United States out of the room.
Doc, I agree with you. We got to go to break. We got to go to break.
There are other Americans like that.
I mean, just to be clear, Doc, I wasn't saying, oh, look, I'm big. I want to be clear. The average,
I understand what you're saying.
The average person,
you're fighting for it, and people believe in you, as I do.
Well, I mean, more than that. People don't know what Steve Pieczenik looks like. They don't know what, Johnny Sixpack looks like. Because I am public, I get an idea of how many people are awake and angry. That's what I'm saying. Most people aren't in that position to really get the real gauge. And I'm telling you, folks, it is exploding. It could never happen in America, but it's happening right now. Gas prices are exploding past the incomes of millions of families. As gas prices and crop failures push high food cost, you can still get the best food on the planet from eFoodsDirect.com. Demand for food is high, but eFoods Direct has plenty of radiation-free food to meet your needs. With our new triple production capacity, you will get the fastest shipments of food in the country. To help you get the most food possible, when you order 3 of any qualified pack, you will get the 4th one absolutely free. That's the buy 3, get the 4th free food special. Your immediate order will not only freeze the present low food prices, but also guarantee your food availability. Folks, I'm telling you, it is the smart move to go to eFoods Direct right now and buy 3 of any qualified item and receive the 4th one free. Get the most for your food dollar by calling 800-409-5633 or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633 or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
He looks 5 years younger.
He doesn't fall asleep at his desk like he used to.
He no longer drinks those energy drinks all day.
He used to be gloomy. Now he's upbeat.
He obviously has lost weight.
He's now drinking Moringa in the Morning from BigJoe.us. Moringa is a delicious, all-organic, 100% bioavailable blend from the miracle moringa tree, considered by many to be the most nutrient-rich plant ever discovered. Moringa in the Morning will suppress cravings for junk food and energy drinks and make you feel like a kid again. Drink Moringa in the Morning, available from BigJoe.us. That's BIGJOE.us. Vibrant Health is just a click or call away at BigJoe.us or 800-503-0515. 800-503-0515. That's 800-503-0515. Drink Moringa in the Morning.
After we're going to premiere here on air Obama bombshell, birth certificate, a forgery. We have gone over it. It's undoubtedly a forgery, and we break that down. Dr. Corsi is coming out. He's always very careful. They've done an analysis. He's going to release it tomorrow. It is fake. And that's another question for Dr. Pieczenik. Why would they put out such a shoddy fake? Well, Dr. Corsi thinks that, and we're going to go to more of your calls here in a minute. We're keeping until 40 after so we can get to all of them that are currently on the board. He thinks that they couldn't go to an agency because people might leak it or blow the whistle, so they had to have somebody in the camp do it. But you can see where it's low res and then it's high res where they've changed things. The typewriter font is generated by a computer. It's called Kering. That's confirmed just across the board. And also, you can tell that it's a computer because you have typewriter typing where you blow it up, and it's the exact same letter, even down to the pixel. Now, understand, like a snowflake or a fingerprint, every typewriter strike is unique because the way it hits the ribbon, the way it slams down around the edges, creates the microscopic fingerprint of that unique strike, depending on how hard you pushed and how it struck and how the paper was loaded. The thing is a stinking fake. Dr. Pieczenik, we're going to finish up with the awakening that's happening, the positive news we talked about during the break, and then finish up with Chris, Michael, Mark, Bob, and Brett. We got to get to those callers, and we're so honored to have you. StevePieczenik.com is the great site. Folks can find out more about all your work there, or so much of your work there. But I know you probably haven't fully looked into this, or you may have. You may not want to speak to it, but we've looked at it. Corsi's looked at it. There's no doubt it's fake. Why would they put out such a ridiculous fake? Do they want to make this a diversionary issue, or are they that shoddy? Or do you think it's real?
I don't think the birth certificate, I think it's a total distraction. Let's go back to a statement that I made about a week ago when I said, if my mother had been a major CIA operative in the 1960s, a single white female going into a Muslim country like Indonesia who had a PhD in the very sophisticated subjects of anthropology, sociology, or teaching, and taught English and was trained at the East-West Center in Hawaii, which, by the way, was under my jurisdiction as Deputy Assistant Secretary of East Asia, and I know we used that legitimately as a front for the CIA, and she probably was on a contract to the CIA, was a CIA officer, then the question is really not even relevant about the birth certificate. The question is, why doesn't Obama accept the fact that his mother was a CIA operative, his grandmother had worked in the banking system of Hawaii, was also in a CIA operation, and why is it that the CIA has a narrative that doesn't really make sense? It's, again, that old story.
So that's why they're covering up, is to cover up the intelligence agency family, and there's even more than just those involved, as Wayne Matz and others have documented. Why are they covering that up? So there's definitely a cover-up, but you're right. If he's born out of the country in a CIA, then, you know, still he's an American citizen.
Yeah, I mean, whether he's American or not is not the issue. The issue is, why is the intelligence narrative so distractive, and why was it imposed again on the American public in a way that very few people really knew who Obama was, other than Chicago, and that he came out of nowhere, which wasn't exactly true. There's a CIA narrative that goes way back from 1960s. It comes now, and once again, as I said, the intelligence narrative is not good, as it was not good in 9/11, and it was not good with Osama bin Laden's death. This has nothing to do with conspiracy. You could look at the NSA records. She's on record for having been in the CIA. You can look at the CIA documents. I mean, this is absurd. Basically, you have a family who work for the CIA, which is legitimate. I mean, the CIA should be very proud of this, that in the 1960s they were able to recruit young single women to work in the areas of expertise in dealing with Russians who were involved in the overthrow of a coup, Suharto. Now, why they have to impose that narrative on the American public again 30 years later and 40 years later bespeaks the fact that the CIA may be out of control and the CIA is no longer relevant to either foreign affairs or domestic.
But Doc, I understand it's an Doc. I understand
have to deal with and hold the subcommittee on intelligence accountable. Mr. Berman, who works in the House Intelligence Committee, should answer these questions.
I know, but I'm asking you,
the American public,
briefly. We're going to break. Why would they put out a fake one?
Because, I don't know, because the narrative does not work. It is a disaster. They have messed up from the beginning. Again, it's the Osama bin Laden, but put on Obama. The narratives are not working anymore. The public is too sophisticated.
We'll be right back. We're going to jam in calls, 1 minute per caller, because we got to get to this birth certificate video. Stay with us.